Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the super duper team of a conglomerate worldwide, New Jersey, West Virginia. I see people here that are in Canada, I believe, and also up in, oh, how did Brandon Morris get on? That is interesting. We have people from the other side, I believe, also. So we really have a sensational team. Okay. So today is our pre-convention rally. We began this last month in April when we were scheduled to host an in-person, face-to-face, God forbid, I guess things have dramatically changed, but we were thinking we could do that back then, a face-to-face meeting in April. Because we were not able to do that, we did a Zoom online presentation. It was hugely successful. We had a lot of people on it, and we are planning to continue this. The group of folks who are working on this, I call them the West Virginia Empowerment Council, because the part of my team that is the largest and that's really propelled me to Diamond has been all the folks in West Virginia. Somehow I ended up connected with them. Who knows how that happened for a New York City, New Jersey boy, but it did happen, and we are tight. But we also have people from Erin's from Colorado and in Utah now, and folks in New Jersey, Bridgeton, Florida, Connecticut is a huge part of our team. We just have a lot of people. We are part of a community of folks who really care about personal growth and about helping others grow. If we didn't care about that, we would not be doing this today. It is a beautiful day out there. We finally got warm weather in New Jersey. Believe me, I just got back from walking my dog. Tanya and I would be, now that they've opened parks in New Jersey, we could go up to the Palisades, adhere to social distancing. The Palisades, for those of you who don't know, overlook the Hudson River. But instead, we're here because we care about making our world a better place. And that is why I honor each and every one of you for being on this call. Thank you. Very special to me. I like to begin these with a little grounding thing. Those of you who know that might have your bottle of Valor handy. You can use any oil or not use an oil at all, but Valor it works. So if you have it nearby, put a drop on your left wrist. Take your right wrist clockwise 3 times. That increases the vibration, the energy flow of the oil. And I'll invite you for just these few seconds to shut your eyes, to allow yourself to be still, to focus on the space between your wrists, on the energy flow through this essential oil blend, Valor. Ground, center, balance. Connect now with that which you truly are: supreme, sublime, courage, confidence, strength. When you're ready, you can lift your wrists to your nostrils and imbibe the aroma. Yeah, Bridget suggested that I do this at the end because we all get too chill at the beginning, and she's probably right. Next time, Bridget, we'll do it at the end for sure. Yeah, it's amazing the shift that I feel, and I believe many of you have felt it too, because the group energy merges and we all feel it more. And it is a powerful thing. Valor was one of the first oils I was introduced to. How I was introduced to essential oils was RC. I was on a retreat, somebody rubbed RC around my sinuses and shoved her hands in my face and told me to inhale through my nose, and whoa, I could breathe. RC, it just opened up my sinuses and helped me breathe so well that I wanted to order it right away. So that was the first oil I was introduced to. When I called this woman later on to order, because she told me I couldn't get it right from her there, she told me about something maybe most of you have never heard of, the Essential 7 kit. She said, well, get the Essential 7 kit. It was a group of 7 oils that Gary Young deemed essential, and Valor. She told me that Valor would give me courage, confidence, and self-esteem. I laughed. What we would say in today's days, LOL, and type it out. It's just, that's ridiculous. How can essential oil give you courage? It just can't do that. However, I did purchase the Essential 7, Valor, and RC, the first oil I was introduced to. And after using Valor for a few months, I knew that it worked. It did give me courage, confidence, and self-esteem. Maybe not give it to me, but it helped me connect with that which I already am. Courage, confidence, and self-esteem. It really works. So next meeting on July 11th, if any of you really care, ask me to give the whole story about how I knew that Valor did that. So you have something to keep you in suspense and get you on in July. Okay? So what we are going to do next, I'm going to introduce Michelle. Michelle is our first speaker. Michelle Kaufman and I have become like this. We are total friends. Didn't we go to the Rock and Roll Museum last year? Yeah, we went and saw exhibits about Jimi Hendrix, and with the person who is now Michelle's fiance, and the date is coming up. Yeah, the ring is there. Yes, so it will be any day now. I'm not sure of the exact date, but being that I know Michelle real well, nobody will be there because she honors social distancing. That's how Michelle is. She wants us all to stay alive and really supports good practices with what we're going through today. So Michelle and I have just gotten very tight. I did not know back then that in fact, I met Michelle many years before I knew I met her. It was at a talk that Gary Young gave in Michigan, right outside Detroit. And somehow I ended up being the ride for Michelle and a few other people. I didn't know she was even in the car. She wasn't really that involved with Young Living to that point then. So I've known Michelle since back then, which was, do you remember what year it was, Michelle?
It was either 2010 or 11. I think it was 2011, and I had only been in Young Living just like a year or so.
Yeah, and it was, of all the talks Gary Young gave, that might have been the best one.
Yes.
I mean, he was like totally on point. He was amazing that weekend. It was a whole weekend of just amazing knowledge that we picked up. So that's where I first met Michelle, but over the years we've gotten to know each other real well. She is a massage therapist. She came to the Diamond Retreat in Croatia. She's not a diamond, but we had a raindrop class. I believe it's the last raindrop class that Gary Young taught. It was in Croatia. We spent time there, and she's just brilliant. She understates herself. She knows more than most people I know. She is involved with massage therapy in West Virginia, to where she makes sure that licensing is up to date and that massage therapists are honored for what they are, that they're not called a massage parlor. Yeah. So Michelle knows how to do raindrop treatments. What she is going to teach us now is something that's important for all of us, is how to do a raindrop on yourself. Which you do it on your feet, on the reflexology points, but I don't know that much about it. I hand it to the great, good team member for all of us, my dear friend, Michelle Kaufman.
Oh, thank you. That was way too kind of an introduction, James. Thank you so much. And since you mentioned I'm a massage therapist, yes, and but I also want to mention what I'm going to show you today. You don't need to be a massage therapist to do a raindrop for yourself or even on your family members. You only need to be a massage therapist if you want to go out and do it on the public and charge money for it. So, and I'm going to give you the short version, because we want to respect everyone's time today. But just to let you know, I normally teach an 8-hour raindrop class when I teach this class. So I've tried to whittle it down to just a 15-minute short version. So obviously I can't cover everything. So I will put it in the chat when I'm finished, but you can go to youngliving.com/raindrop and you can see a full video tutorial of how to give a raindrop, along with all the oils and things that you need and instructions and things like that. So if you're wanting to do it for your family members or yourself or whatever, and this 15-minute little chunk isn't enough, no worries, you can go on that. It's a great site Young Living has put up for us. There's also instructions and information if you have the reference book, the Essential Oils Desk Reference or Pocket Reference. Both of them have the information about raindrop and instructions and the oils that are needed, and actually way more information than I can cover real quick today. But I want to give you some of the basic stuff that I thought was really important. Raindrop is something very near and dear to my heart. As James mentioned, we got to go and learn it from Gary Young himself in Croatia, which was the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life, pretty much. I mean, maybe other than this. But anyway, it was an amazing experience to learn from Gary himself. So I'm going to try to give you just the little short version. So raindrop, what this technique is, Gary Young developed this technique basically as what he thought was like the best of the best techniques that he knew, because as some of you may know, Gary Young had been studying natural alternative things and health and wellness for a very long time. Lots of things. He himself went to massage therapy school and naturopath school and all sorts of things. And so he combined what he had found from working with people, what he thought was the best protocol of techniques and oils together for the purpose of balancing the entire body, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all systems of the body, all forms of the body, mind, and spirit, the whole package. There's specific things in Raindrop for literally everything to do with the human body. And the point of it was to help the body with the tool, give it the tools that it needs to bring everything back into balance so that everything is functioning better, your body systems can work together better the way that they're intended to do. So that's the purpose of doing the full Raindrop session. And the main components of Raindrop are, of course, therapeutic essential oils from Young Living. These are the rock stars of Raindrop technique. These are what do most of the work in Raindrop technique. Yes, I'm a massage therapist and sometimes people pay me money to give them a raindrop. But I am not really doing much at all. I'm just the facilitator. The oils do the work. So again, if you don't have access to go and get a professional raindrop, you can still get 99% of the benefits just from getting these oils into your body. The oils do the work. The other massage techniques just help to really drive it in deeper and really, massage it all in. But the oils are the primary facilitator in this technique. And then the other two major components of the raindrop are something called the Bioflex technique, which I'm going to show you at the end. It is a Tibetan reflexology technique. I could talk all day about it, but I don't have time. But it's a very easy, gentle technique just to work the oils into those reflexology points on your feet and along the spine. When you get a full raindrop session, the technique focuses on your feet and your spine, because that is literally like your control center for everything in your entire body, and every bodily function is controlled, from that, spinal central nervous system. So the other main component of raindrop is something called a feathering technique. I could talk about that for a long time, but I don't have time. But it's a gentle way to gently stroke the oils into the skin. It's not even a massage technique at all. It's literally just a light, if you ever had your mom tickle your back kind of a thing, that stimulates the nervous system. So it is open and will receive all of those good oils and soak them up in and distribute them through your body to do the magic that they do. So those are the major components of raindrop. Again, you can watch the video on youngliving.com/raindrop to see how all this works. But those are the major components that Gary brought together for this technique. Now, there's very specific oils that are supposed to be used in the specific order that he gave us. But I know when I teach class, sometimes people get so nervous and freak out that they're going to make a mistake. If you accidentally get the order wrong, you're not going to die. It's okay. Just get the oils into your body. This is, what the recommendations that Gary taught is for optimal benefit, for the best, possible outcome and everything. If you accidentally get a little out of order, or maybe you don't have one of these oils, you're missing one, go ahead and do it. It's okay. You'll still get great benefit just from getting these oils into your body. That is the key. But I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through the oils that are used in the oil, the way that they're to be. Ideally, you would layer them on one at a time. So you put one oil on. Our oils are very pure. They soak in very quickly. So it's just a few seconds, and then you can put the next oil on and the next oil. And so you layer them one on top of the other on top of the other, and they help push each other all in and do all the good things. So the first thing, we start the raindrop and in the raindrop with Valor. I had several things I was going to tell you about Valor, but James has already told you about Valor. So I don't have to spend a lot of time on telling you how wonderful Valor is. It's an amazing oil. It was created by Gary as a balancing blend. We used to call it something that's not compliant that I can't say now, but those of you that have been around a while know what that is, because it's the same frequency as bone tissue. So it's very supportive to the bones, the skeletal system, very supportive to the muscular skeletal system, but also very balancing for emotions with confidence and everything like James talked about. So I can't say enough good things about Valor. Those of you that know me know I rave about it all the time. And the great thing is Valor comes in your premium starter kit. So if you're new, you have 2 raindrop oils already that came in your premium starter kit, the Valor and the peppermint that we use at the end. So Valor comes first. Then we use oregano. If you don't know about oregano, please look in your book or an app, or get yourself educated about how wonderful it is for your immune system support. It is fantastic. I can't tell you all the things, but this book will tell you all the non-compliant things about why it's so good. But I can tell you, I think I can tell you that it's very cleansing at the cellular level. It cleans the body out. It's very supportive to the immune system. And it's used first after Valor because it is so cleansing to go in there and kind of scrub things out so you can receive all the other good oils and they can do their job better. So oregano, and then thyme. Thyme, again, very, very supportive to your immune system. Lots of non-compliant things I can't tell you about it, but let's just say super supportive to the immune system and one that you want to make sure you have. The next one after thyme is basil. Basil is used because it is very soothing and relaxing to the muscles. If you have tension, and you, especially with what's been going on lately, who doesn't have tension, right? So if you've been feeling like stressed and you find yourself starting to tense up and your muscles are all starting to clench and whatever and hold on, basil is to help them relax, to go back into that nice relaxed state. So it's very helpful for all sorts of issues in the body. That's one that I use a lot for many different things. After basil is cypress. I, again, could talk all day about cypress. It is another one of my favorite essential oils. Cypress is supportive for lots of things, but it's very supportive for the circulatory and lymphatic systems of the body. If you have any need for support with your circulation and your lymphatic drainage, which assists every function of the entire human body, it's vital. You can't live without it. Get cypress on your body. I could talk a lot about it. It's also very helpful for grief. So if you, a lot of people are suffering that emotion right now because of what's happening, and you know, go on about that. So it's very supportive for the emotions, and it's very supportive on a physical level as well. So it's a key raindrop oil. After cypress, we put on wintergreen. Wintergreen, I can tell you that it's in our Panaway blend. Hopefully that'll clue you in on what wintergreen does. It's very supportive to the to the skeletal system, the musculoskeletal system, the structure of the body, and definitely one you want to look up in your book for the benefits. The next one is Aromaseas blend. So this is a great one I use all the time just by itself when I'm in a hurry, because it is so good for muscles. It's a blend with basil, marjoram, lavender, peppermint, and cypress in one bottle. And Gary said he added it to the raindrop technique later because he found that it held the benefits of raindrop in the body longer. So it just synergistically works with the other oils to keep the good benefits going longer. So that's why it was added. If you have one of the real old books, Aromaseas won't be in the protocol. Then it's peppermint. And so peppermint is what's known as a driver oil, helps to drive the other oils in deeper so they can do their job better. That's why it's often used when you see protocols at the end of a protocol. When we're layering the different oils on, peppermint usually always goes on the top or at the last because of that effect of amplifying and driving the other oils. Also a good one to look up in your book because it supports so many body systems, respiratory, digestive, for focus and concentration and alertness. It cools you down on a hot day. It helps your breath not smell like a trash can. There's a million uses for peppermint. Is, you name it, peppermint is going to be good for it. It's also a great one for when your back doesn't, I have a back that doesn't always feel great. And so when it doesn't always feel great, or a neck or a head or whatever, or a knee, whatever you have, sometimes peppermint can be just a wonderful thing. So it is very helpful in this protocol at the end with helping the other oils go in deeper. And then we usually top all of these oils off with some massage oil, either the V6. If you're more sensitive, go with the V6 oil that's plain, or if you're not sensitive, we have the OrthoEase massage oil. All of this comes in the raindrop kit you can get from Young Living in this cool box with everything you need to do a raindrop. It comes with all of the essential oils and the massage oils that you need. So it looks like this. So you get 2 big bottles of the massage oil, the V6 and the OrthoEase, plus all the bottles of the essential oils that you would use for a raindrop. It's a great deal, and you can get it with your rewards points, which is what I have done many times. So if you don't have a raindrop kit yet, make sure cash in your points and get one. This is something I strongly encourage everyone to be using right now, because things are opening back up. People are going back to work. People are going out into the world. My opinion is we need that extra layer of support to the immune system. Yes, I love Thieves and I use it every single day, but with what's going on now, I feel like I want a little more extra protection and support. I shouldn't say protection, I meant support to the immune system. So I am using a lot of the raindrop oils on myself. you can, there is, I know, some controversy about this, but you can make a roller bottle with all of the raindrop oils in it. Some people don't like that idea. Some people do. That's up to you. My opinion is this doesn't, it doesn't replace the layering of the raindrop oils technique. But if you're in a big hurry and you don't have time to do the full technique and protocol, I keep a roller bottle mixed up and I take it with me when I travel, especially if I'm going on a plane, going to be in a group of people, or doing anything that my back might not appreciate. And then I just roll it up and down my spine on the bottoms of my feet, morning and night, and it really helps support me a lot. So I put about 10 drops of each one of the raindrop oils in there and then fill the rest with carrier oil and just a regular normal size roller bottle. So that's an option. Obviously, you know, optimal benefit is laying the oils on one at a time, but if you don't have that opportunity, or if you're trying to maybe do this on a child or someone that won't sit still for long enough, the roller bottle can be a big help. You can also, if you have the Animal Desk reference book, find the formula to mix up a solution for your dog or your cat. Obviously, we dilute much more heavily for animals than people. So I want to show you real quick, and first of all, no judgment because we all know no one can get a pedicure right now, but I'm going to show you on your foot how you can take the raindrop oils. Here's my foot. So this line right here, I did take a shower this morning, but anyway, this line right here is where your spinal line is, and then it goes up the middle of the big toe. That in reflexology is where your spine is. So that's the best place to put these raindrop oils in. So put the oils on, and then you take your fingers on that line, and the VitaFlex technique looks like this. So you're rolling your fingers back and forth across these points. So you'll put on your Valor and do this. You'll put on your oregano and then do this, then the thyme, and then the basil, and you'll do this with each layer of oil. You'll go back and do the VitaFlex rolling reflexology technique again and again, just to really get it in those reflexology points. Again, it's right inside and then up the middle of the big toe, all the way up to the top of the big toe, which is in reflexology, the top of your head. So you're getting the oils into those points so that they can do their work and affect the whole body. Most of us aren't flexible enough to actually be able to do it on our own spine. So you can just sit in a chair, you know, like I'm doing right now. I just prop my foot up and I put the oils on and VitaFlex them in. Again, you can watch that video on youngliving.com/raindrop to see in more detail how to do that VitaFlex reflexology technique. That's the gist of it. That just getting the oils in gives you great benefit, but doing that reflexology technique gives you a little extra boost, a little extra added benefit, in addition to just getting the oils into the body. So I know there might be some questions, so if you guys will just put your questions in the chat, then I will, as soon as I get finished, I will start looking through the chat and do my best to answer you. And you're also welcome to contact me on, you know, social media or message me privately if you have more questions. I'm happy to do that, but that's the gist of it. And I thank you guys so much for being on here today and giving me the opportunity to talk to other human beings. I miss talking to other human beings. I'm a people person, so it's so nice to see you all, and I'm happy to share this information with you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm going to throw it back to James. Oh, but I forgot the giveaway. One more thing. There's a giveaway. I have a pair of vegan leather diffuser earrings that you can put oils on and put them in your ears, and then you get that good aromatherapy going throughout the day. So the question to win the diffuser earrings is, what were the 2 main body systems that I said cypress oil really supports well? 2. That's it.
I'll leave it alone for other people. All right, so answer your questions. Answer the questions. You can win those earrings, which you cannot purchase from Young Living. They're special earrings. Yeah, I would like to win them myself, but that's not fair because I knew the question ahead of time. Okay. So I have a question too. I didn't want to say it. It would have been a dead giveaway if I said it when I talked before. What's the first essential oil that a Young Living essential oil that I used, that I was introduced to? You listened, you know the answer. So get that down, and yeah. And also, I want to reiterate what Michelle had said about asking questions. Put your questions in the chat between Michelle and Amy, and they can be questions for any one of us on the leader panel. After the final presenter, we're just opening it up to talking. So that'll be good. Thank you, Michelle. That was just so important what you taught us. Really take that to heart, doing the raindrop on yourself. In today's days, with what's going on, you may not be able to see a raindrop practitioner. And even back in the day when I was doing a lot of raindrops, there were very few of us here in New Jersey. I also want to stress and reiterate what Michelle said. You do not have to be a massage therapist to do a raindrop. How do I know that? Because I'm not a massage therapist, and I have done between 1,000 and 2,000 raindrops on people. I used to make my living doing raindrops, and people that came to see me thought I was pretty darn good, even though I was not a massage therapist. And I will also share with you that raindrop is different from massage therapy. I know good massage therapists that do not give a really good raindrop. There's a difference. Massage therapy is great, but raindrop is more like energy work. And so I just encourage you to get a raindrop. It really supports your immune system. And if you can't get one from anybody, you'll see what Michelle taught you, and do that. I am going to do something totally out of compliance right now. I'm going to just post it where the messages are. And why? Why does this say privately? That has to go to everybody, to everyone. And I believe, yeah, okay. So I just posted a link to a raindrop training that I taught. It was filmed professionally, totally out of compliance. It really is. I'm sorry to say. So I'm not saying anything out. It was done before we had to really be careful about what we say. So anyway, there's the link. If you want to check it out, you can. Probably I should delete it before this is all over. So save it off. And I will delete it from the chat because we're recording this, but there it is. All right. So when I was in Orlando it was one of the worst in my opinion, one of the worst Young Living conventions. It was really not a particularly good one. The weather was great. And I met Michelle's upline, friend Amy's upline, for the first time, or not the first time, but the first time she came to a convention was the one in Orlando, a platinum in our team, Mary Beth. I'm not sure if she's on tonight, but if she is, she can hear me say this. So that was her first convention. Bridget was there. I remember Maria Malik was there. I introduced Bridget to some people in her team. There were really good things about it. When I was leaving, this person, I was waiting to get a taxi. It was before Uber. It was that long ago. I was getting a taxi to the airport, and there was somebody also waiting with me who was deathly afraid of flying. She was just totally. And so what I recommended to her was this one, Rutavala. I said, Rutavala really helps you relax. I told her that, and she got back to me later. She messaged me and told me, wow, I flew home and it worked like nothing else. It really helped me relax when I was flying. So Rutavala, really good for relaxing, for de-stressing. Today's days, it's just a really good oil to use for that. I rub it on my wrist. Okay, so I want to introduce now someone who I have known less time than most of you on the call. She's relatively new to Young Living. She's part of Nature's Ultra. Used to be a separate company. Maybe Erin will explain that to you. But she and I have just gotten so close. Erin cares about people and she's so intelligent. She's taught me about CBD. We've had these conversations where she just really she knows her stuff. She brings this whole extra oomph to Young Living by virtue of who she is. And I'm actually going to, I do have a little bio on her here. So I'm going to read it. It's probably a little more dry than what I'm sharing with you about Erin, because she's really special. But Erin comes to Nature's Ultra with 23 years of experience. Erin, you don't look much more than 23 years old, for crying out loud. Definitely, you must be all those Young Living and Nature's Ultra products you use, for sure, that keeps you young. So she comes with 23 years of experience in customer service, 15 years in leadership roles. She has a degree in business administration from the University of Utah. A bunch of us have stayed at that hotel up there, right? The University House, when the convention's been at the stadium. I think that's probably my favorite hotel to stay there when the convention is up there, when the general session. So she has a BA from the University of Utah. She is passionate about creating a positive customer experience. I can vouch for that. She's definitely, if I went into Young Living before, after meeting and talking to Erin, I would be now. So Erin, take it away.
James, thank you so much. That you almost made me cry. I really appreciate that introduction. So thank you. I'm going to give a little bit of background about how I came to Nature's Ultra and why I'm a part of this. And then I have a mini presentation regarding Nature's Ultra and CBD. And then I also have a good amount of products to give away as well. And I'll talk to you about those at the end. But our founder is Richard Ricketts, and I grew up with him. So this is like, gets me emotional. The company is very personal to me because I've known Richard almost my whole life, and so he's not only a really good friend of mine, but he's like one of my brothers, and I'm the oldest of 5. So, and I have 3 brothers, so he's like my 4th brother. But he started Nature's Ultra because he couldn't find a high quality CBD in the marketplace that he felt good taking or giving to his friends, his family. And as you all have probably seen in the news, CBD is huge right now. And companies are popping up all over the place. And there's a lot of different concerns with it being so popular. So he decided to create his own, and he knew Young Living oils and had used them with his family. And so he chose to use those to blend in with his products, which I'll talk to you about why we blend with essential oils as well. But I joined with him last year, and then we officially joined with Young Living January of this year, which has been really, really exciting to be a part of the Young Living family. So I'm going to now I'm going to share my screen. I want to make sure you all can see. Can you all see my screen? Or James, can you see it?
No, but I think I made you I'm pretty sure I made you the co-host, Erin. Let me check.
Let me.
Yeah, you are a co-host, so you should be able.
I see your screen now.
Do you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
see it.
perfect. Okay, perfect. Sometimes there's a
Very
little
good.
bit of a delay. Okay, so let me go ahead. Okay, can you all see that okay?
Absolutely.
Good. Okay, perfect. All right. Oh, and I just wanted to make a little bit, I know a lot of you, I'm looking at the chat. I see that you're from all over. I have family in West Virginia. I know that a lot of you are in West Virginia. I went there last year. I love it. It's a very special place to me because my family is there. So I just wanted to state that. But let's jump into everything CBD. So first, and it's gonna take a second to load here. Sorry, we have connection.
Well, you've locked yourself into next time we do have a face-to-face rally, maybe in 2030.
Yeah.
We will. You're coming, okay? We're gonna say you got to be there, and we'll make sure Young Living gives you permission, and yeah,
Perfect.
we
That is
want you
awesome.
there.
I'm sorry, it's not going to my next screen. Let me just minimize
And
this.
no rush, by the way. We're all easy
Okay.
peasy here, and we're good with you. So
I might have to we might have to just go through. Can you all see it this way? Is this
yeah, I see
okay?
it.
Okay. We might just have to go through it this way. Seems like it's having trouble loading here. So I want you all to think about CBD. If you use CBD, I want you to think about why you use it. And this really gets into when you are bringing people into your member base and into your downlines, why they might choose to use CBD, because it's very personal for a lot of people. And so I just want you to think about that as we go through this presentation. So what do we offer at Nature's Ultra? And this really is what sets us apart from other CBD providers in the marketplace. The first reason is that we are using Young Living essential oils, and nobody else is using those oils. And you all know how great they are, and the fact that there's transparency. And I don't know if any of you watched the On the Grow event today in Boston, but one of our global agronomists is David Little, and he showed the farm and all the practices that go behind everything that Young Living does to ensure that you're getting the highest quality product. And so we are really just blessed to have Young Living essential oils in our product. And what we blend it with is a CBD isolate. Now there's a few different types of CBD. There's full spectrum, which is many compounds of the plant, and that usually includes higher levels of THC. And then there's broad spectrum, and that is most compounds of the plant, usually moderate to higher levels of THC. And what we use is a CBD isolate, and it's just like the name implies. It's an isolated CBD, so you're getting the purest form of CBD, and you're not getting high levels of THC. You're actually getting the lowest levels of THC, and our products contain 0.0%. But what happens when you isolate this CBD is that you lose terpenes, all those great building blocks of essential oils. And so that's why it really is the perfect marriage to add Young Living essential oils in with CBD. There's also this synergistic effect that occurs with CBD and terpenes. Actually, they work better together than if you just took a CBD isolate. They actually enhance the properties of the CBD as well as the essential oils. So it really is a beautiful combination. So CBD stands for cannabidiol, and a cannabidiol is one of 113 natural cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant. THC is another cannabinoid. Some other cannabinoids that you might have heard of, CBG, CBN, those are the most popular ones that you'll hear other than THC. And then the primary difference here is that THC is a cannabinoid, of course, known for its intoxicating properties. And within our bodies, we have the ECS system, which is the endocannabinoid system. Irregardless of whether or not you take CBD, every person actually has this system in their body. And what this system does is it really promotes homeostasis, or a state of stability and balance. And you want that because that's when you're really at your best. You're above the wellness line, and you're feeling great. So THC actually it attaches to one of two receptors within this system. It attaches to the CB1 receptor, and that's why you get that intoxicating effect of getting high. And that's why THC is actually the more known cannabinoid. CBD was actually found before THC, but THC has all the hype because of the high, right, behind it. And CBD is the cannabinoid known for more therapeutic properties. And this CBD does not actually attach to that CB1 receptor. And studies have actually shown that it can actually negate the effects, the intoxicating effects of THC as well, which is just kind of a cool fact. And so what we use at Nature's Ultra is we use industrial hemp. And this is a variety of the cannabis plant that is harvested to produce industrial products, including rope, clothing, paper. Something that's really cool. I love like the history behind products, and industrial hemp has been around since like 2700 BC. And it was used for these very reasons. It was used actually to produce industrial products and rope and clothing and paper. Another cool fact is that Queen Victoria actually used CBD. She actually used it for like menstrual cramps, which is not something that we can say with our products, but I just thought that was like a cool fact. It's been around for a long time. But the reason we use industrial hemp is it contains high amounts of CBD, and we are a CBD product line within Young Living. So that's the cannabinoid that we focus on, and it has low amounts of THC. And now our partner farms, we choose the Intermountain West. Dry climate is really great from an agricultural perspective because there are less pests. So we're not having to use pesticides, which is awesome, because then you're not getting something in your product that that you don't want in your body. And then everything is grown under in the natural environment, where there's sun and there's bugs and there's bees and there's all of these just naturally occurring just components to the environment. And then the Intermountain West, especially we speak of like Colorado and Oregon, they really promote the sustainable and organic hemp growing practices. So they really are forward thinking in the growth of industrial hemp and CBD. So it's a great place for us to have our farms right now. And then we're going to talk about plant breeding and seed traits. These are not genetically modified organisms. Think survival of the fittest on these. So these are really inherited characteristics and traits of the seed. So these really are, we are choosing seeds that we think are going to do really, really well. We're not altering anything within the seed. And Richard calls this the evolution of the seed, because each year he's seeing the harvest is it's taller and it's more robust and it's thicker. And then you're getting better flowering. And so you're going to get a higher quality CBD. And then this creates a consistency in crop. You want your crop to be plain, as you don't want to see this up and down, because that means some plants are doing well and some plants are not. And then organic farming practices, something that is very, very cool is the USDA actually just came out with a certification you can get starting in the year 2020, where you can be deemed organically grown by the USDA for industrial hemp. But you have to have 3 years of practicing those guidelines. So we can't qualify for it yet. We only have a year under our belt. But what's really cool about that is that they have that certification in place. But we all know seed to seal is far more extensive than the process of something qualifying as organic. And so that for us is really the goal behind our product, is that seed to seal promise. And then I didn't see if anyone in the chat is from the Midwest, so you probably know about crop rotation. Crop rotation is very, very big. And the biggest reason why crops are rotated, and when I speak of the Midwest, they oftentimes rotate corn with soybean. You don't want a single crop like corn sucking up all the nutrients out of the soil. You want to get nutrients from the soybean and from the corn. And so you will rotate in between harvest seasons with a cover crop usually. So we rotate ours with milo and grain sorghum. And the reason we actually choose this crop is it's kind of like a weed, and then it grows really fast. So it keeps actual weeds out, but it adds a lot of nutrients into the soil. And when you are keeping weeds out and you are trapping nutrients in the soil, you are going to get less insects and less disease. And so this is very, very important to our farming practices. And they do that at Mona too, here in Utah with crops. And they're actually testing out some other cover crops, which is very, very cool. Water sourcing. So no matter what we're doing, if our water isn't clean and pure, it doesn't matter, right? Because you have to water every single day. That's the life source for these plants, besides the sunlight. So it's very important that we have water that is tested and certified. And we are actually getting our water from aquifers. And these are very deep in the ground, so they have less chance of contamination as well. And then this is my favorite part, I think, just because from an environmental perspective, it's super awesome. But then it is also great from a business perspective. The leftover biomass or the leftover materials are mulched back into the soil, which adds nutrients into the soil. And that's great from an environmental perspective because we're not having to pay to dispose of something. And then the business perspective is that we're saving money by not having to do that as well. And then the milo and grain sorghum, that cover crop, is sold to local farmers and used as corn feed. So everything is used. And then this is our quality assurance report. This really gets into the fact that we are testing our water, we are following the seed to seal practices. And you'll be able to see this on every single Nature's Ultra product. So there's a QR code, which you'll be able to see on your product, or there's also I'm showing you I don't know if you can see there's like a silver batch number at the bottom of your product. And you'll be able to go to naturesultra.com or Young Living, and you'll be able to look for your batch number. And what you're going to see is that 0.0% THC, it's a pass, no solvents pass, no pesticides pass, and no heavy metals pass. And then you'll see the seed to seal promise there as well. And now let's talk about the products, because this is my favorite part and probably what you all want to hear about. And James asked me to talk about how these can be used emotionally and with stress. And so I can tell you, I use Nature's Ultra products every day. I'll talk about my experience with them. And then I also use Young Living essential oils because they're awesome. So I work full-time for the Nature's Ultra line at Young Living. We're all working from home. My partner is a police officer, so his schedule is crazy. I have 2 young kids. My son is 19 months. I have a stepdaughter who's 4. And so my life is just busy, which I like. I'm a very type A, I have to move all the time type of person. But these products I've found a routine within my day to use these products. So I'll talk about that as well. So the first, and this is by far my favorite product. This is the Muscle Rub, and this is a balm. So it's like a Vaseline. A little bit goes a very long way. This 30 ml container, actually this is not 30 ml, this is 1.76 ounce. But the strength, whether you have, I don't know if you can see, my screen's went out a little bit. Whether you have the the 300 milligram or the 600 milligram, the container and the amount is the same. It's the amount of CBD that you're going to get in there that's different. But this usually lasts me 5 to 6 months, and I use it every single night. I love the warming and the cooling. I put it on my upper back, my neck, my shoulders. I'm lifting kids all day, just always on the move. So this really helps me to just relax before I go to bed. Camphor, clove, helichrysum, lemon, peppermint, tea tree, and wintergreen are the primary oils in this. And this one can really be used though throughout the day. I type a lot, and I've talked to a lot of members who like to use it on their hands throughout the day. You can use it after a workout. It's great on knees. But this product is really something that I can't really envision my life without. I absolutely love this product. And the next one we have is the Calm Roll-On. And this is also my favorite. I saw that James has his. Here's mine.
Yeah.
I love this. This has lavender, vetiver, ylang ylang, eucalyptus, and it is such a great fragrance to it. This is the product that for me, I can actually smell the most of the industrial hemp, which if you've smelled CBD on its own or industrial hemp, it's very earthy. Some people like it, some people don't. I love it. I love earthy things. So that product for me, I use it at night. I use it on my wrists. I put it on my chest, on my neck, but it can be used throughout the day. You could take it with you. Kids are driving you crazy, or maybe you're having a tough day at work. You can put some on and inhale that. And this is in 300 and 600 milligram strength. And then we have our CBD oils. So the first one we have is our cinnamon, and this one has cinnamon bark essential oil in it. The carrier oil is the MCT, or the medium chain triglyceride. We use coconut. The reason we use that is CBD and MCT actually naturally bind. So your body is actually more bioavailable to getting the most CBD. And so that is why that is a great carrier to have in there. And this one is in 500 and 1000 milligram strengths. And then we have our citrus, and this is grapefruit and orange. And this one is such a happy, just a happy fragrance. So like James said, to talk about kind of emotions and stress right now, this is something that I think can be used throughout the day. For me, like when I smell orange, when I smell grapefruit, they're just so bright and fresh. And so this is something that I just refer to as the happy CBD oil. So this one is really great during times like these. And this is available in the 500 and the 1000 milligram strengths. And then our last one is our CBD Cool Mint. I love cinnamon, I love citrus, but for me, peppermint is one of my favorite essential oils. Like it's one of the oils that if I'm getting low, I kind of panic because I put it in my water. My water has peppermint throughout the day, and it's just my oil. So this one has spearmint and peppermint. This is great in the morning to kind of get you like ready for your day, but it really is great throughout the day, and it's very cooling too. So I think that just kind of brings you down and just kind of balances you. And this is 500 and 1000 milligram strengths as well. And then just to answer about how to use these just emotionally and with just the stress and everything that's going on. Something that I've tried to do is, because I'm very like go, go, go. So to be told that I can't do things, I can't go here, I can't go here, is hard, especially when you have kids and you're in the house. And so for me, something that I really worked on the past few years, and what the integration of CBD has done for me, is really just living in the moment and day to day, and obviously thinking for the future, but enjoying the moment that I'm in. And I'm able to do that with Nature's Ultra products and all the Young Living products as well. I just made a big order for Young Living oils and ordered a bunch that I hadn't tried before. And so having those in my life has been really helpful during these times. And then the last thing I want to talk about is when we are at our best. And this is when all parts of our body are in a state of stability and balance. And we call this homeostasis. And this is what that endocannabinoid system, or the ECS system, is in our bodies for. Something that's actually really cool about this system is it's only newly been identified within our bodies in like the 1990s. So it's only about 30 years newly discovered. But that stability and balance is when we're living at our best. We are living above the wellness line. We're drinking enough water. We're getting enough sleep. We're eating well. We're exercising, and we are really just at a state of really peace within our lives and where we want to be. And that is my presentation. Are we back to you? You guys can't see my screen anymore, right?
Right. We don't
Okay.
see your screen now.
So I do have, I have 5 different products to give away. The products that I have are, that you can choose from. And I don't have where if someone orders the muscle, they can't get that one again. And I will be sending these to you guys, but I have the Muscle Rub 600 milligrams, so the high strength one, which is awesome. The Calm Roll-On 600 milligram strength, and then I have the Cinnamon 1000 milligram strength as well. So and what I'll do is I'm gonna ask these 5 questions, and then we'll go through the chat, right, James, and see whoever
Yes.
gets to those first. Okay.
Yeah,
super.
we have a designated planner who's pulling,
Nice.
randomly drawing from the ones who answer the questions correctly. So
Perfect.
all of you get your answers down now. You can win like extra strength CBD products.
Yeah. So, and these are such great products. So I'm going to tell you my 5 questions, and then James, you guys let me know who wins these, and then I'll get them sent to you.
I will get to you after like either Monday or later today or whatever.
Perfect.
You and I will communicate, and I'll
That's
you know,
yeah. Okay, awesome. So my first question is, what is CBD? I'll give you a few seconds then, and I'll go to the next. My next question is, what is the main difference between CBD and THC? My third question is, what is the plant that we use for our products that is part of the cannabis plant family? My fourth one is, name all of our products. These are current products, so it's nothing that we don't have anymore. That would be tricky.
Meaning Nature's Ultra, not all of Young
Nature's
Living's
Ultra. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to name all of Young Living's products to get that.
I imagine people would be in that chat for a long time. Nature's Ultra products, yes. And then my last question is, when are we at our best?
Repeat that last one.
When are we at our best?
Okay, got it. Good questions. Wow.
All right. And that is what I have, unless you have anything for me.
If there are questions, we'll ask them at the end. We have one more presenter, and then we have people that have asked questions, and then we'll if there are questions for you, which I'm sure they are.
Cool. And I'll go through it. I'll go through now so that I have answers towards the end.
Yes, and don't answer anyone that's out of compliance. That's what we're like leaving out. We are a team that is very much about wanting to keep Young Living open. So yes. All the top leaders in our team train our people to do their best to not say things that the FDA would, or the FTC would frown upon.
Right.
I've been asked to shut up. I need to keep it short because I tend to bloviate a little bit because we do have a time limit. So I'm not going to do a long introduction here. However, oh, Penny. Oh my gosh. Can I share Penny with the team? I can, right?
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to share. So Penny is on, and Penny's mom I was just so close to Gloria. She was probably the oldest person in our team until
Hold on a second. Hold on, James. I want to record this. Just a sec. I want my sisters to see it.
we're
Do you
recording.
mind?
Okay, you can record, but I'm recording the whole thing. So
Okay.
I mean, there will be a recording, Penny, anyway, that you'll have of the whole thing. So Penny's mom, Gloria, I just loved her so much. She passed a few days ago. And those of you who know Gloria, I know a bunch of you do some of you don't, but she's just a special person. She had so much vim, vip, and vigor for like a 90-plus-year-old woman. She just had such a loving heart. I don't even know what to say. I just have to say something. I miss her. I really do. I miss Gloria. She used to come over here a whole lot with Penny. We do raindrops. Gloria was a welcome recipient of raindrop and all the other crazy healing stuff I would do back then. And anyway, if we could just all send Penny great, good energy, like just send her our love. And Penny, you and I should talk after this. I haven't caught up since.
Thank you, James.
So, and Penny's been caring for her mom all these years. She's really been like the kind of, I hope my daughter ends up being like that when I get older. I'm sure she will, but Gloria was great. She was great. And if I had prepared for this, which I didn't, I'll see if I can locate a picture and I will share my screen later after the next presentation.
Thank you, James.
Where we'll have a pic of Gloria. Bridget is our next presenter. Bridget knows Gloria real well. Penny is like in our team kind of thing. Stanley also is on the call. Bridget enrolled with Young Living in July, correct, Bridget? July of 2000, right before 9/11, like 2 months before 9/11. Bridget put together the first presentation that I did. She said, I'm not a business builder, not doing any of this. And then she proceeded to put together a huge presentation. Not business building. We should all have business builders that don't business build like that. She put together the first presentation I did after 9/11 back then. And it is a long time ago, but here in New Jersey, right outside New York City, it may have affected those of us a little more than in other parts of the country because we could see the smoke from where the site was. So that was a very special meeting, and everybody who Bridget brought to that meeting enrolled, even though she wasn't enrolling anybody or doing the business. So this is who Bridget is. We have become close friends over the years. Bridget calls it like it is. She won't hesitate to call me on my stuff when my stuff needs to be called on. She's just that kind of a special person. She asked me not to talk about any of her lengthy credentials, so I'm not going to say anything about them. Bridget knows a lot of stuff. I'll just say it like that. She is intelligent. She's learned over the years about different fields. She's never been satisfied with any one thing. She's always moved on to more things. That's how she conducts her YL business. She keeps exploring new ways to do it. And that old saw that you can't teach, maybe it works for me, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can certainly teach that young woman, Bridget, new tricks because she learns them and then follows through with them and teaches her team. All yours, Bridget.
Oh, thank you so much, James and Michelle and the West Virginia Empowerment Council. I know how much energy, effort, and love go into these rallies, and it's been wonderful. Erin, your presentation was fabulous. I know we're kind of short on time, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just go over something that I'm really passionate about, and that's Young Living. James told you a little bit about my story, but I'm really passionate about, sharing Young Living, and I call it paying it forward. I never thought in a million years I would be doing this as a business, and I am proud to say I'm an independent distributor with Young Living Essential Oils. This is my beautiful son, Jarrett. This was taken 10 years ago at the Young Living Farm. That was his first convention. And by the way, if you haven't bought your virtual ticket yet, do it now, because the convention, they're going to stop selling tickets, I think, at the end of the month. You do not want to miss it. The education's amazing. Back in 2001, it was a difficult year, as James just mentioned, but I was also getting divorced. It was very challenging. I was depressed, angry, sad, and really wasn't doing well in a lot of ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So I began looking for different modalities to really work on all of that. And I began taking yoga all over the place. And I went to Paramus, New Jersey, took a yoga class and found a business card, and it said wellness consultant on it. And I decided to call the person. We met at Whole Foods, and that person was James Needleland. He shared with me Young Living, and I have to tell you, I was not into essential oils. I shared with him, they give me a headache, and he assured me Young Living essential oils were unlike anything else. And so he put some Panaway in my hands. I put it on my low back, and needless to say, I felt something. And so back then we bought an Essential 7 kit and a bottle of Valor because we didn't have a starter kit. And truth be told, he called me 2 weeks later, asked me if I got my kit, and I said yes, but I said, I hate to tell you this, but I did not open the box yet. It was really a block to self-love and self-care. And James, I love you. You're my best friend. You're my brother. And that phone call is the pivotal moment in my life. You changed my life in that day. And so I have so much love and gratitude. I don't even think I'd be sitting here, let alone in the Young Living business. I don't think I would have survived. And so thank you. That one action made all the difference in the world. So he called me up and said, how you doing? And he said, go open your box. And I did. And I went in my bathroom, washed my hands, and slathered joy all over my heart, breathed it in deeply. And I remember looking in the mirror and seeing myself for the first time in a long time. I had lost 40 pounds. I was very thin. I looked like I was dying. You can see the bones on my face, in my head. You can see the blood vessels. And I realized that I was going to die if I didn't do something. And that began my self-care journey. Now, James called me up again a couple of weeks later, said, how you doing? I said, hey, I'm doing better. I'm eating nuts and eggs and I'm putting on this weight. And he goes, oh, that's wonderful. How about you share it with some of your clients? And I say, no way. You're like, that's not going to happen because I'm too busy. I'm a single mom. I have no time. I have 2 jobs. Forget it. Somehow, if you know James, he's persistent. He got me to invite him to the health club that I worked in. I was a personal trainer, got permission. He shows up. Guess what? It's in the middle of a winter blizzard storm. The snow's blowing sideways. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a disaster. 2 people show up. I'm apologetic. He says, just like James's style, don't worry. Whoever's supposed to be here is meant to be here. Sure enough, one of those people happened to be Stanley Palmisano, who only bought a bottle of lemon oil. And this is a profound story. I'm not going to go into it deeply, but from that bottle of lemon oil, you won't believe what happened. And I'll share with you in a second. So Stanley buys the oil. That's it. Next day, somebody in the gym says, hey, I want to buy 5 personal training sessions with you for my friend. She's having some challenges. I say, sure. This woman walks in the next day, no hair, no eyelashes, like 80 pounds soaking wet, big bright eyes, beautiful smile. She shared with me her story. She'd been diagnosed with uterine cancer while pregnant with twins. She gave birth to 2 healthy babies, but now was going through chemotherapy and loved to work out. And so I was training with her. I was training her in between her personal training sessions, but I knew in that moment that my profound experience with these oils, I had to share them, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to appear like a saleswoman, but I knew I had to pay this forward. I was literally afraid that I was going to be stricken down by lightning if I didn't share with her. And so I said to her, hey, I'm not sure if you're into this, but I started using these amazing products. And since you're on this path of, organic eating and clean living, if you want, I'll lend you my book. It happened to be the desk reference. She said, sure. I says, bring it back next session. She comes in the next week and hands me the book and looks in my eyes and is almost tearful and says, thank you. This was amazing. I read the book cover to cover. I'm thinking, I've never read that EDR cover to cover. Meanwhile, that's what she did. And so a couple of weeks later, I get a check from Young Living, and I'm thinking it's a mistake. Why is Young Living sending me a check? So I called James, and he's like, you have no idea what happened. Stanley Palmisano bought a bottle of lemon, shared it with her Ayurvedic friend who's a doctor, and all of her patients are using these oils. And by the way, you must have shared it with this lady, Allie, and she bought all these products, and that's why you got a check for $200. In that moment, it was this aha, the sky opened up, holy cow. And I realized I had this mantra going, I'm going to work to the day I die. And I knew if I kept saying that, I would indeed manifest just that. As a personal trainer, I was getting up at 5 in the morning, training clients, running home, taking my son to school, picking him up, making him lunch, making him dinner, going back to the gym, working both ends of the day. I'm talking fast, I'm from New York. But you get the gist of it. It was just like, life was just very overwhelming. And I realized that maybe there was another way. So I began learning about conscious languaging and prosperity consciousness and really wanted to create another stream of income. So I started running around sharing oils, and guess what? Nobody was buying anything from me. And I realized I was the common denominator. I was at the scene of every incident, and I was doing something that was just not getting people to want to buy it. And so I had to sit with myself and really assess the situation. And I realized I hated sales. I hated network marketing. I didn't like to, feel like I was being pushy. And so one by one, all these objections, it was like literally an obstacles course where I had to navigate through. I didn't like selling. Well, I'm just really educating people, helping them make a decision. And by the way, no one's ever apologized to me for, selling me something. So why should I apologize? Network marketing, because I had one bad experience, doesn't mean all network marketing is bad. Just like a meal. If we eat food, we don't stop eating because we have a bad meal. We try something else. And I guess right now, if somebody's starting out now and you're watching this live or you're listening to the replay, another objection might be with this World War C thing going on. I can't go out of my house. No one's going to buy anything. And that's so not true. I mean, we had our biggest month in March and April because people more than ever need to support their wellness right now. People more than ever right now need options of working from home. And so whatever objections you may have, know that they're really based on fear of you won't be successful, you don't have what it takes, or you don't believe in network marketing. And we can, with consciousness and love, one by one, deal with these objections. And yes, that presentation that James spoke about when he introduced me, Allie was the one, my first person who ended up, I shared with inadvertently. She was the one who invited me to her house, and James did a presentation and 30 people showed up and they all enrolled. So it goes to show you paying it forward really made a huge difference. And I really see our team has this heart-centered way of sharing products. And it's not just about selling things, it's about helping people, educating them, finding what their pain points are. And James would remind me, it's not just me running around selling all these kits, it's about me sharing with people and helping them share with other people. You don't have to do it all yourself. That's why it's, really networking, growing a network of people. And even if people aren't interested in selling or doing the business, and very few people are, most people are product users, we can still create a culture of wanting to pay it forward and make it normalizing sharing, because we're natural born sharers anyway. And so we can do things to try to minimize how we see it as a negative thing. So I just briefly want to go over this for those of you that never have shared. We like to use scripts on our team. And so I like to go over with people. Young Living is basically like an upscale Costco or BJ's. You could buy products as a retail member or a wholesale member. And then this is to get wholesale, which everyone wants to save money. You buy one of these kits one time, and as long as you spend $50 in a year in product, you will maintain your wholesale account. And by the way, as a wholesale member, you have the opportunity to pay it forward, and Young Living will send you a thank you check, just like they sent to me, also known as a commission check. Sharing is caring. And I like to remind people, because I had this objection, I don't want to spend money every month. And James reminded me that I'm just replacing where I invest my money. Becoming an informed consumer really changed my life. And I believe as consumers, we have so much power that we don't acknowledge or recognize by where we spend our money. So I can either go to ShopRite and BJ's and all that and buy things I use every day, or I can get into this replacement buying and making it an integral part of my wellness lifestyle commitment that involves gradually replacing the chemically laden products that you typically buy with clean, chemical-free and infused products available at Young Living. Young Living also has monthly promotions that are amazing. This month, I love longevity. The first time I heard about longevity, our Royal Crown Diamond upline, Vicky Offer, who was like the queen of heart-centered sharing,
Yes.
she shared this story about longevity, and I will never forget it. Have you ever been around older people? And of course, now I'm getting older, but I'm determined not to smell like an old person. You know that? Like, so I heard this story, and I've used longevity oil since. Longevity oil strengthens cell membranes. And so all of our cell membranes are made of fatty acids, and as we age, they can go rancid. And that is the smell. And I never want to smell like that. It's like one of my things. Like, I don't want to smell old. Even as I age, I want to age as gracefully as possible. So when I'm sharing with people how they can get started on wholesale, I explain to them that they can buy the kit, but if they want to get this free longevity oil, and maybe some of the other freebies like frankincense deep relief or EndoFlex, they can go on something called Essential Rewards, which is a voluntary program that rewards consumers for consecutive orders. And they can qualify because the kit's 100 PV, the PSK, and so they would get that free longevity oil. And by the way, if they just transfer where they buy their products from the supermarket to their online Young Living store, they can get tons of free products and free gifts. So I show them this picture. I love to do show and tell with people because that's highly duplicable. And I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to end with that. But I would just like to say that paying it forward, you never know who you can help until you try. I love Jim Rohn. I went really deep. And if you're going to learn how to share, get mentored, and go deep with whoever you study with, service to many leads to greatness. And remember, the pain of regret weighs tons. The pain of discipline weighs ounces.
Talk to you later. Bye.
And ending with paying it forward, it's about caring and sharing. It's about compassion and kindness. It's about generosity. It's about sacrifice and love. And you get what you give, so give good. I am raffling off a Deep Relief. Let me stop the share. And so my question for the raffle is, what was the one thing that James did that changed the course of my life? Thank you so much for the opportunity and inviting me to speak. I really appreciate it, and I hope it's added some value.
Wow, Bridget, you added a lot of value. Wonderful talk. You really edify me a whole lot, which is lovely. But if you adhere to what Bridget shared, just a fraction of it, how she shares with people, how she pays the message forward, how it's from her heart, how can we who care about other people do any less? It's just sort of the way I view it. It's my calling. And my calling is about helping people ascend to the best version of themselves. We've had wonderful presenters. I think now I should go through not the questions, but I should go through the answers, who won what, correct? Okay, so I am probably slug with this. Okay, well, I know wow. I got messaged as to who the winners were. So let's see. Okay, well, I know Brooke. Brooke won something. Brooke won, she used to always win the SC drawings. Oh, she won RC. She won my question. Brooke Baggett Milbourne, great leader. I think she's silver, gold leader. She's just awesome. West Coast, California. I hope she stays in California and doesn't move, but I think she is planning to move. Anyway, Brooke, you won the RC. Congratulations. Then there was another one, Michelle's question with the two body so what Brooke's answer was, what was the first oil I was introduced to? And she listened to what I was saying. So she got that one and was randomly picked. I'm sure other of you got that question correctly as well. The two body system Cypress is supportive of. That was Michelle's question, part of the raindrop. And Angie Beckman won that. Angie with its circulatory and lymphatic systems. So I know Brooke's address. Michelle, do you know Angie's address? Is she part of? So Angie, you need to message me, either private message me. Maybe in my team, but if not, well, I need to know your current mailing address. So get that to me, okay, or get it to Michelle somehow. And you could just text it here in there, and that way we'll have it. In fact, I should save the chats. So file, save the chat, then I will have that saved. Okay, so those are two, and then we had 5 CBD questions. And then we're going to do Q&A. These are the winners. If we go over, some of us need to leave. With Q&A, it's already 1:30. So anybody who wants to leave, it's totally okay. You won't be thought of as less of a leader because you had something to do. It's okay. We'll stay on a little bit longer so we can answer questions. But if you have to go, just cut out. It's already 1:30, and our team likes to honor time. We like to start on time and end on time. And if I didn't talk as much as I have, we probably would be on time. Okay, so what are the other questions here? There's a bunch of questions for Michelle. Actually, we should go over them while you're still on, Michelle. But these are the giveaway winners. So the winners of the CBD, Stanley, needs no last name. It's just Stanley. I don't know any other woman named Stanley. When I met Stanley, I said, Stanley? Because it just didn't seem like a woman's name. And her reply was, what were my parents thinking? So Stanley is great. I've known her just a little bit less time than I've known Bridget. So she's the winner. So Julia Legg, Stanley, Angie Beckman won again. Pretty good, Angie. You're really hauling it in. Elaine Stempinski, who I told had a really cool hat on today. She looked jazzing. And Lynn, even see Lynn on the call, Lynn Graham. So Lynn your hat's not on anymore. So those are the winners. Julia Legg, Stanley, Angie Beckman, Elaine Stempinski, Lynn Graham. Please get me your current addresses, your mailing addresses, and I'll forward it on to Erin, okay? So just message me, private message me on Facebook or however you want to do it. But we need to know how to mail it to you. Okay, so there's that. Michelle, can you handle some questions about your time? So do you see your questions? You're in the chat where you.
Yeah, I responded to the people in the chat, but I can go through the answers real quick.
Yeah, because we all need to know the answers, really.
Yeah, and so first of all the answers, just so you know, they're on that youngliving.com/raindrop website. And also all that information is in the desk reference or the pocket reference. When you're doing the technique on yourself, I don't feel like it matters which foot you start on. You do want to do both feet for balance. The whole point is we're trying to balance things out. You want to do things in balance. If you read the instructions, it'll tell you exactly how many drops of each oil to use for the specific protocol that Gary gave. Again, if you give or take a few extra drops, everybody's okay. Okay, and then I do want to clarify, things are a little different now than when James started years ago, and so now states require you to be a licensed body worker or massage therapist to charge people to go and do raindrops in a professional setting or manner. So just make sure you can still do it at home on your family or friends or whatever for free, but if you want to go out and do it professionally, you need to be a licensed professional. And so someone asked about with COVID. Me personally, I'm not doing them right now on anybody other than my fiance, who I'm quarantined, in close contact with. But when I do begin to do them again, I will be using the PPE that's recommended by the massage therapy associations, and have the client wear a mask, I'll wear a mask, all that kind of stuff, because people can have it and not have any symptoms. So I believe in just err on the side of caution. Why not? What's it going to hurt? If we both wear a mask, it decreases the chances. But I'm not doing them yet. I'm waiting to see the numbers to stop going up before I'm going to resume doing the raindrops again. Someone asked a non-compliant question about a medical condition. I can't answer that, but I can tell you, you can check with your physician if you're not sure if your medical condition is okay to receive raindrop. You can also that up, and if you have the Essential Oils Desk Reference book, it will let you know about that. I will just say that most people are able to receive raindrop. Sometimes you might have to dilute it more if someone is not well or unhealthy or has complications or whatever. Again, check with your physician first, but most people, in my experience, are able to at least receive it on their feet or a diluted version if they have issues going on. The V6 on the feet, you don't have to use it, but I do, just to be sure that everyone's skin is comfortable. But if you don't want to use it and you're doing it on yourself, you don't have to. It's just to make sure that you're comfortable and the skin's not too hot or too dry. Slideshow, I think that question was for Erin. Is that slideshow in our back office, which I don't think it is. Is it? Or she can answer that.
Yeah, I'll go over that when I go through all the questions. I can talk
Okay.
about that as well.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool. I'm pretty sure that question was for you. I think that was all the questions for me. If I missed any, feel free to shoot me a message. And then also, just to reiterate, if all the winners could send James their current mailing address to his email, which I put in the chat. It is, James, can you tell everybody your email, please?
theoilman108@gmail.com, and I will write it down too now.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, you are the best, Michelle. What a pleasure to have you in my life and to be working with you. It's an honor.
Learn from the best, James.
You picked that up from Bridget. I like that. Thank you.
And it's both feet. I just saw someone asked again. Yes, it is both feet for the raindrop.
Yes.
You want to do. Yes.
Because it's that part of your foot on each side that's the spine.
Right.
So
to get the full spine, you need to do both feet.
Yeah. I want to share something about what Michelle was talking about, was doing VitaFlex on your feet with essential oil. Just to bring up, because I want to honor him, even though he's not on the rally, Tom Wolution. Tom Wolution taught Gary Young VitaFlex. That's how Gary Young put Raindrop together. He took Tom's teachings and put it together with his own. And Tom taught me VitaFlex. I had no idea. I did about hundreds of raindrops without knowing much of anything. What Michelle said, she said to do it on your family, you don't really need to be a massage therapist. When I used to teach raindrop, massage therapists didn't like me because I would tell people they could just get around being a massage therapist. I was cold. And so massage therapists in my class would say, you can't say that. I'm going to share with you a workaround anyway, but I will tell you, if you need to be licensed in your state, you really do. If your state wanted to go after you for doing something unlicensed, they would, no matter what workaround you think you have. And that's important to know. What I used to say, if you became an ordained minister, you could do hands-on treatment because we have freedom of religion. And you can do that online at no cost. You will still, believe me, if the state doesn't want you doing it and you're not licensed, they will shut you down. So just know that. It's really better to be licensed. Back then, when I did 1,000 to 2,000 raindrops for a living, New Jersey was one of the 2 states that did not require a license to do massage. So I was fortunate in where I lived, and I was able to do that. Okay, so let's see. What other questions do Bridget's giveaway? Bridget's giveaway was the deep relief. And Bridget, did Bridget ask the question for it yet? So who won it? Let me look. And then we'll go to Erin's. Well, I said who Erin's winners were, and I'll let Erin answer the questions. But let's find Bridget's giveaway. Does anybody see what the answer was for that? Okay, so the winner was, Gina. Gina from Connecticut, all right. And, yeah, what did I do? I should remember that. Bridget told me that's the question I'm going to ask. And I have to reiterate that. If you share with somebody, give them a call. People order this stuff. It was like me. I ordered this stuff. I had no idea what to do with it. My sponsor never told me. I kind of had to figure it out on my own. And somehow I did. But most people won't do that. Help them. Give them a call. Let them know this is how you use Joy. This is how you use that, whatever it is they purchased in the starter kit. This is how you diffuse. People don't know how to use a diffuser. They don't even know that the desert mist can be a nightlight without oils and water in it. I didn't know until somebody told me. It took me a long time to figure that out. So that's because my sponsor never told me, you see. So you really want to follow up with your people. That is a really good question. Okay, so share it again. Sorry, so many posts. Okay, well, that's fine. And now, Erin, are you ready to, so I have the list of your questions, but you're not in our rally planning group. So I'm going to private message that. Well, you know the answers, right? To your questions.
Yeah, so those are posted in the chat here. You'll see that Amy Jane posted those, the questions that I had for the giveaway. Those are all there with the answers.
Okay, good.
And so,
do you
if
have
you have any
anything
questions,
you want to elaborate on with answers to that?
Just, I think one of the questions people were wondering about the THC versus CBD. The main difference, and it really is that CBD has therapeutic qualities and THC has the intoxicating or the properties of getting high. And then our products are listed there, so we've got those. And I would just say stay tuned for new product offerings for virtual convention, and then also new products for holiday. So there. And I should backtrack. It's not necessarily a new product. It's just a new. It's something we're offering that's very cool for convention. That incorporates our products in there. So that's for convention. And then we actually do have a new product coming out the holiday 2020. So
All
very
right.
excited for that. So anyways, so I'll get you more information when I can on those. The other questions we had, the Calm and the Muscle Rub, the high strength, out of stock. So just so you guys all know, what happened when we moved into Young Living is Young Living has a very rigorous, quality assurance program, which is awesome. All of our products have to go through the testing. So given that we just joined and we have all these products, when we see these surges in people wanting them, some of it is stuck in the Q&A, but we anticipate those should come out and be available this next week. I know that's frustrating when you want to have those to order, so hopefully that will be available soon. The other question was the CBD starter kit. Same thing. So right now, the 300 milligram or the low strength is available. As soon as the high strength muscle rub and Calm come back, then the high strength kit will be available as well. So we're anticipating next week for that. And then the last question that was asked was about my CBD presentation. So I actually have recorded it. So James, maybe I can get that to you and then you can disseminate the recording to people.
I will post it in our team page, and also I'll give it to leaders so they can separately post it in their team pages.
Perfect. And I have a lot of presentations that I'm recording with my team just because we are virtual now. So I will get you those member-facing ones as well. There.
Thank you.
And I think those are all the questions. I'm sorry for the noise. He's a little
I love your
scoundrel.
kid. It's making the meeting fun. It'd be too like old fuddy-duddies without your son there. He's cool.
And thank you all very much. It's really been a pleasure being a part of this as well.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you so much. What Erin said, I just have to tell you, she also trains Young Living like leadership, some of you work customer support, diamond support. Everybody I know that has talked about Erin says they love her, that she's the best. When I told some of the diamond support folks she was presenting on our rally, they said, "Oh, that's wonderful. She's the best." They just think very highly of you, Erin, and so do I. And I'm sure most of our team does now too.
Thank you very much.
After learning from you and after you so generously giving us so much stuff. And correct me if I'm wrong, it is the higher strength ones that you're giving away?
Yeah, it's all higher strength. So when I asked our operations director, I told him that I was doing this and I was like, hey, I need a product to give away. And he was like, I give away 5 products. And I was like, oh, excellent. So.
He must have taken the THC kind of CBD before he said that.
He non-compliantly, he probably did.
Just cool. And I do want to say something about CBDs. So I do have a full spectrum that is not Young Living. It's not an MLM. It's called Marley Vibes, or the other one is called Ganjaman Vibes. The guy who owns the shop is Jamaican. It is a high quality CBD. My daughter was telling me she thought it was better. I don't think it's stronger than Young Living's. Young Living's Nature's Ultra is really, though it is an isolate, it's really strong. It works.
Yeah.
It really helps me to say compliantly, it helps me de-stress, it helps me relax.
Right.
In a way that I wasn't before. I sleep better. It's just remarkable. So I would not say that a CBD that has some THC in it, from my own experience, is better than what we have with Nature's Ultra.
Right. And I know James, you and I had talked about this, that so we isolate that one cannabinoid, CBD, but if you actually look at the therapeutic benefits of CBN, CBG, and even THC, there are so many benefits to those broad and full spectrum products. And so I recommend that you all do your research on those to see, because every person is different as well. Some people really work well with a full and a broad spectrum product. Some people work great with an isolate.
Yeah, it just depends. Exactly. I totally vouch for Young Livings. They're separately from that, I market them. They're great. Young Living, what Erin shared with us about maybe it's a little bit of a drag that we have to wait for the product because it has to go through QA. We're glad that Young Living has the QA that we do. I promise you that. I will share you a story with you from back. I was supposed to share a Gary story too. I know some of you, if you have to go, just go. Okay? Can't hear you, Michelle. Anything you want to say? Okay. So if any of you have to go, please just don't feel like I'm keeping you on. But I was supposed to share a story about Gary. And part of the reason that I wanted to do this is because it was almost to the date 2 years ago that Gary passed. It's the anniversary of that. I just remember that day so well. Someone else who passed told me about it. She called me and told me, Gail Ann. She told me that Gary had left us. I do have a lot of stories about him. I told the one about where he saved my daughter from drowning, I think, at the last West Virginia thing. So I'm not going to share that one with you again. I'll share another one, just how Gary was. So the last time I saw him, I used to win all the cruise. I don't know that I'll ever go on a cruise again, but then I would go on cruises. It was in 2015. It was the cruise where our very own Jared Turner announced his engagement, where nobody knew he was engaged, or a few people maybe did, but he announced it to all of Young Living on our top of the ship cruise party. 2015 was before Young Living was chartering whole cruise ships. So we only had part of the cruise ship. What was so special about that, because I was in the top 15 of the winners, I had a paid for tour of Ephesus. I don't know if any of you know what Ephesus is. Yeah, it's a ancient Roman city in Turkey. The tour guide was Gary Young. He, in front of Mary's house, so those of you who don't know history, back then after Jesus was crucified, the powers that be went after all his followers. They had to flee. A number of them went to Ephesus. That's where his mother, Mary, went. She had a house there. It's a tourist attraction there. Outside of that house, Gary had the area roped off for us, and he shared his thoughts on the crucifixion, they're unique. Gary always thought outside of the box. Whatever he said made sense. I don't know that this is the time for me to share that with you, but it touched me. It really did. And then in the parking lot, so after that, we went to some Turkish restaurant. And what they do in restaurants like this is people in Turkey are really selling you stuff. And Turkish people, when they're selling tourist stuff, do not get out of your face. They're like, roll it up. So what they were selling were hand-woven rugs. A hard sell. Tanya, that's my wife, for those of you who don't know, me, Gary. walked out into the parking lot. Great minds think alike. The three of us did not want to hear their pitch. And we just tossed it around. We just talked about it. And Gary shared with me that if they weren't so in his face, if they were a little nicer about it, he would have bought the store out to have it all shipped to Young Living Corporate. It's just he didn't want to purchase it right at that moment. But because they wouldn't leave him alone, he said, "Dag with it," and he left to talk with Tanya and I. I had that kind of relationship with him. We were just really close. He would talk to you on an intimate level. He didn't matter if you were newly enrolled with Young Living a day ago, or if you were some Royal Crown Diamond that had been with Young Living from day one. He talked to you as an equal. One thing about Gary, he was always 100% present when he talked to you. Everything else went away. There he was with you, talking. That's how he was. He devoted as much time until Mary would haul him off, say no more time, and grab him. She really had to be protective of him and his time, because in the middle of 100 other things he would have to do at a convention, he'd stop and talk to you for as long as you needed him to talk to you. Very amazing individual. I wanted to share that with you because he did pass a couple of years ago. I did attend his funeral, both of them, the public one that was kind of big at the stadium at the farm in Mona, and also the private one up where his body was laid to rest, which was a handful of people basically, or a couple of handfuls. So I did want to share with you a little bit about Gary. And I have more Gary stories. You can always ask me privately. Should we ask for any more questions? I'm a little reluctant to if anybody has a question, raise your hand. If anybody, you do, Michelle?
I just want to mention before we wrap up, I put it in the chat, but just in case everyone didn't see it, I was asking if, since we're going to do our next online meeting like this on July the 11th, if people have requests for certain topics they would like to learn about, if they would email it to you, so we can make sure that next time we obviously will cover something different, but we can make sure whatever we get the most requests for, we can have a presentation about that. So if you could email those to James's email that I put in the chat, and James, if you want to say again what your email is to remind everybody, that would really help us with planning the next event on July the 11th.
Yeah, so mark that in your calendars. And this one, it will be a post-convention thing. If all goes how I would like it to go, I can't guarantee it. I will have new products that have been introduced at convention that I will be giving away if you answer a question correctly. I'm putting my email down here. The other thing is, so Bridget or Michelle, somebody said that registration ends at the end of the month. That's because we don't want you all to wait till the last minute. June 5th is the end date for registration. Register before then. Only convention registrants will be able to purchase the new Young Living products. Just for that alone, it's worth plopping down the little bit they're charging, $75 to get to a whole convention for $75 without having to pay for a hotel and a flight and all that stuff and going down to eat every night. It's like a great deal. It is. And I honestly think this is the way it'll be for a while. I'm excited to know how this online convention is going to be. If Young Living does it half as well or a third as well as they do our products, which are the best, it will be awesome. So please, we should all register. I don't like to should on people, but I am anyway. I want to see everybody in our team register. What I would like to see, I saw I had how many participants? Not as many as last time. I know we're all getting tired of this social distancing and staying at home. It's old. It is. But July 11th, let's get on it. Let's get our teams on it. Let's max out the 500 people that I can have on this thing. That would be cool. Michelle.
I just wanted to mention, because I know some people, if they haven't been to convention before, they may not know this. They always release a special convention discounted bundle, usually, that
Right.
you can only purchase if you have a convention ticket. And they a lot of times have a special convention oil blend that, again, you can only purchase if you have a convention ticket. They do later, after convention, open up buying the new products to everybody, whether you went to convention or not. But what's been happening the last few years is by the time they open it up to the general public, some of these special things are sold out. Because people are so excited, they're buying, you know, whatever the limit is that they can buy. And those special convention only items, you can usually only get if you had a ticket to convention. So like last year, we had the Chivalry oil, which by the way is like one of my all-time favorites ever. It's an amazing, amazing blend of several blends. You could only buy it at convention, and it sold out, I think, within like a day or maybe 2 days. Yeah. And it's never come back. It's gone. We'll probably, who knows if we'll ever see it again. So you have a huge advantage with the ticket to getting first dibs at buying those special convention only products and those new products before they sell out or go away forever.
That is so true, Michelle. I'll give you, so here's both of them. Michelle, you told me the 25-year one we don't have anymore, right?
No, you can't get it
Oh
anymore.
my gosh. Yeah, that's why you need to be at convention. Just for that makes it worth it. There will be so much more. I promise you. We're going to have new CBD products. I got the sense. Erin didn't say, but she is the Nature's Ultra person. I'm hoping we get a pet one back. People like to use CBD for their pets, by the way. So hint, hint. Bring it to the team. We need to have a pet one. A few years ago, it was the last convention. I'm going to get that right now to just show you. Just because I think it's important. And I have a couple of them. Yes. So this came out at convention. We recently had it on a special. And the Freedom Release and the Freedom Sleep. When this came out at convention, it was out of stock by the time convention was over and stayed out of stock. It came back in stock, I don't know, a year later or something for a year. And then it was gone again. And now we only have it on these special offerings. There are oils in these two kits that are not, you can't purchase individually, that are amazing oils. There's Inner Harmony, there's Divine Release, the Freedom in a 15 ml bottle. It is Aroma Sleep. Aroma Sleep, there's one person in my team who purchased like a dozen of these when they didn't limit how many you could purchase when they did a special, because that would be the only oil that could help her sleep. Aroma Sleep is really good. I talked about, did I do the Rutavala answer yet? Did somebody, I don't think somebody, yeah, I didn't do that one. So it's reminding me. So my other question are, what essential oils make up the Rutavala blend? And Amy, if you're still on, you're going to have to figure out who the winner is for me, or one of you all. So what essential oils make up the Rutavala blend? I talked about Rutavala earlier in my presentation. That's why I brought it up. I used to use this for sleep. Now I use Aroma Sleep because I purchase as many of these kits as I can. It's like a Rutavala, but a little maybe softer, less earthy aroma. We'll put it like that. Works just as well. So, okay, cool. Allison said she's going somewhere, but she's part of it driving. I like that. I guess Allison, our spa owner, she's part of the West Virginia Empowerment Council. We love Allison. So I love all of you. I am so grateful to have you all on this, that you've hung out and been on it with us. I can mention all your names, but Dara, it's great to see you on it. Helene, we have to talk, as I said. Ginny, it's always, Ginny takes care of me. She's helped me with health and well-being. She used to come over to my place a whole lot back in the day. Remember those days we would hang out? I think Gloria was coming over then too. Were you ever here when Gloria was here? It was during those times that yeah, back then. Yeah, I just had a lot of fun. I had a healing practice like no other. Not a healer like straight, just like the way I do a meeting all over the place. But it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and people really, they got good raindrops, and just a lot of power in those gettings together. So Ginny was there back then, and Andrea Williams, Stanley, of course. Stanley used to hang here. Well, you're all great. I don't want to just start selecting names, because then I'll be leaving some of you out, and I don't mean to. I appreciate you all being a part of this. And Amy, you have the coolest picture. I mean, it'd be cool to see you, but that is such a neat picture with the horned purple thing. I really like the flying purple people eater. Yeah. Are you unmuted? Let me unmute you. Unmute. Okay. If you want to say something, you are welcome.
I just said I was just keeping track of all the answers, so I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, Amy is, and those of you, it's still a recording available. Amy presented last month. Again, we're not doing next month because of the convention. I'd like to see all of you register for convention. June 5th is, you have to do it by then. And then July 11th, we'll do a convention recap where you will likely be able to win some newly introduced products that have already gone out of stock. And for those of you who didn't register for convention, didn't purchase even, and so you're not able to get it, but we will be doing giveaways along those lines. I guess that, oh, Amy's giving me a winner for something. Let me announce that. So the winner for the rutabaga, that reminds me of the Frank Zappa Mothers of Invention song. Call any vegetable, and he's like calling out rutabaga. No, it's rutabaga. I say that because you remember that, right, Elaine? You do. You're into them. Yup. So Karen Page is the winner of the rutabaga. So please get your address to me. I will get that shipped to you. All right. Oh, and Joan, we have a guest, Joan. I added Joan to our team page, Joan the Bone, one of my favorite non-team member Young Living people. Joan is cool. She was with Young Living way before I was, and offers a lot of brilliance and intelligence to the Young Living community. So I'm glad to see you with us, Joan, now. All right, so are we done? Should I end the meeting? I should end the recording maybe now. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. Stop it.